So then
here we go.
After CM Punk decides that he is going to sign with Raw, he says he's home, starts to like celebrate, and then we get Seth music, and everybody lost their minds, I have to say, because
I did. I lost my mind a little bit.
I mean, they trusted these boys to just go at it.
Oh,
So Team Seth
sweet
Rollins, first
victory.
of all, and don't even get me started because you're a traitor. I don't want to hear it.
I'm not a traitor. I
Yes,
am
you
just
are.
going. I am going with my heart.
Yeah, you're a traitor. So Seth Rollins lets him have it. Okay. He tells him, just kind of gives him a rundown of everything that has gone on since Punk left and what Punk did since he left. Seth brings up how he actively tried to tear the company down, and he slandered the company, slandered him and every other person in that locker room. And yet he wants to just kind of waltz back in like nearly 10 years later, call it home and act like everything's fine. And the people who are against him, they're the problem, blah, blah, blah. He says he's offended. And the fact that you were saying that this is home, that these are your family, they're my family. The fans are my family, and all of these people in the back are my brothers and sisters. And I am going to do whatever it takes to protect them from a guy like you. And then he gets straight to the point and just like, I hate you. And I marked.
It was when I haven't heard that much seriousness in a long time. He genuine, like, that was from the gut. You don't say I hate you like that unless you viscerally hate somebody.
Yeah, I marked out a little bit because I was like, yes, Seth, just let him have it. So he said that Punk is going to either self-destruct like he always does, and hopefully, if that's what happens, he will be right there to slam the door shut in his face. Or he said maybe Punk has changed, and if he's lucky enough, he'll be able to face off with him for the world title. And I'm probably in the minority here, but I didn't like how Punk responded. I feel like how everything that he had said leading up to Seth coming out, great. I thought it was what he needed to do, how he said it. I felt like it was great. But then Punk coming back at him, basically just doubling down on what Punk just said about himself. The first thing he says, "Are you done?" I was like, see, I didn't.
You're better than that. You're better than that.
I just felt like it was like two different Punks. You know what I mean? It was like the apologetic, like humbled, I don't know, new CM Punker that we're supposed to believe is like a matured person who's changed since 10 years ago. And then he immediately reverted back to the CM Punk that we know by being like, are you done? And it's like, I get it. Seth's presentation, I guess, wasn't the most respectful. Hence why, Punk said, this is the only pass you get for being disrespectful to me. But I felt like this could have been handled differently because he knows what he did when he left. He knows all the shit that he talked, especially about Seth Rollins. Like, there's a reason why Seth is going to feel this way. So it kind of reminds me of like the situation with Drew, where it's kind of like you're supposed to not like what Seth said because he's like disrespecting CM Punk, but then at the same time, you kind of can't be mad at what he said because he's not saying anything wrong. He's saying the truth. So that's why it's like kind of, I didn't know if I really liked how Punk responded.
His response to me was vanilla because I know that it wasn't going to go on. If that went on, if that was going to go on and I knew it was going to go on, then I'd be like, really? And I'd be on your side. But you knew that Seth was going to say his piece. Punk was going to get the last word because it's his segment technically, and Seth came out on him, so he needs to come out on top. And all he did was just double down that he's going to be in the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of made it clear that if he wins said Rumble, that he's going after Seth. And that's all you want, is a little bit of that, oh, he said it, kind of that visual that you get as the fan.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that next week Punk's going to return and say some shit along the lines of, well, this is your home, but it wouldn't be your home if guys like me, Kofi Kingston, blah blah blah, in the back didn't grind our way and put the company on the map to where it is today, or some shit like that.
Well, he might not even address anything about Seth again for a while. We might have just been like the tease, and then we won't get it for a bit. Because I think that it's another one, like we were saying earlier, where they want to present it early so that it's in our mind and it's not just like a dream fantasy booking situation. It's like, no, they hear us and they know that this is what people want. And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't touch it for a bit, because Punk is having a match, is it in 2 weeks against Dominic, is his first match, and then maybe he'll feud with the Judgment Day or something a little bit. I don't know. And then they can like revisit this again, like closer to the Rumble, because there's just so much time. So you don't want to like over exhaust anything that you could possibly use. If Punk does win the Rumble, which I pray to the wrestling gods he doesn't, if this is going to be the eventual matchup anyway, you don't want to do too much early, because then you don't have a whole lot to then do between the Rumble and Mania,